But we had a lady that is a psychotherapist. And some years back, her husband went to the tallest building in Holland. While she was in the shower, he left, said goodbye to the kids, went to the tallest building in Holland, and jumped off the top of that building and committed suicide. She was waiting for her husband to come home. She didn't know where he was. It was Sunday morning. She's reading some papers in psychology. The kids are playing. Police officers come to the door and they give her the news. Of course, the moment she hears the news, it's a stressful moment. And the moment she feels that change in her internal chemistry, of course, she pays attention to what caused it and she creates a long-term memory. The children were upset. She was angry. She was sad. She was confused. She was guilty. Every single emotion you can experience, she went through all the stress hormone emotions. And every time she thought about that event, she was producing the same chemistry in her brain and body. And of course, she was conditioning her body into the past. And of course, when you have an experience like that, people in your life treat you equal to the experience, and that becomes your identity. And so you tell the story over and over again, reaffirming it. And she found out after her husband committed suicide that he left her in a very difficult financial situation. Huge debt, successful attorney, but she knew nothing about it. So now her stress levels go up even more because now it's not only she facing a suicide or a loss, but now she's got a lot of debt. So then over time, she wakes up one morning and she's completely paralyzed from her waist down. She can't get out of bed, she can't move. They rush her to the hospital, and of course she has a gross inflammation in her body, but there's no mechanical problem. She's in the hospital for an extended period of time. She can't feel her legs, she can't move her legs, she can't take care of her kids, she can't work. Now she can't pay all the debts that she has. Stress levels go up even more. It took her a couple weeks to finally get out of the hospital. She still couldn't walk on one leg. She walked with a walker and crutches, couldn't take care of her kids. Depression sets in, stress levels go up. A few months later, she develops all of these ulcerations on all the mucous membranes of her body. Her esophagus, her upper gut, her vagina, her anus, all her mucous membranes are ulcerated. Now she can't eat. And now, if you can't eat, you can become chemically imbalanced. So now she's emotionally imbalanced, and now she's chemically imbalanced, and she's physically imbalanced because she's injured. So a few months after that, she's having problems swallowing, and they find a tumor right above her stomach, and she has esophageal cancer. And the doctor told her that she had a very short amount of time to live. Now, she came to a workshop that we were doing in Holland, and I remember the day she came in because she came in with crutches, and she sat in a room of about 500 people on the side, and I saw her walker and her crutches. Now, she's a psychologist, a psychotherapist. She's an educated woman. She's got a master's. She treats conditions. She could, from a psychological standpoint, have the insight of how it all happened, but she couldn't change it. She did one chemotherapy treatment for the cancer, and she said it just about killed her, and she stopped. So she came to our event, and she started doing the work. She had a lot of doubt. And she had a lot of fear. She didn't feel like doing her meditation certain days, but every single day, by creating the elevated emotion combined with a clear intention and changing her state of being, and overcoming the past every single day, in a matter of about a year, all of her cancer disappeared. The tumor shrunk. All the ulcerations and all our mucous membranes went away. She has no paralysis, no pain. She has no depression. She owns a hospital now in Holland. She's one of my executive corporate trainers, and she has a new husband and a great guy, and he's a successful person, and she's in love with life. And so we have people that healed from cancer quite a bit. And I'm going to tell you, it takes an uncompromising will to do it. But the beauty behind it is when she stands on the stage and she tells her story, and she doesn't look any different than anybody else. She's not wearing white. She's not young and fit. She's just a common person. But so many people, when they hear the story, begin to change their belief about what's possible. And because of her and a few other people that healed themselves of ovarian cancer and a few other big cancers, when they tell their story, more and more people are accepting that it's possible, and that's how we change the paradigm. It's no longer the philosophical component that does it. It's the example of it that does it. And to me, she's the living example of truth. So the interesting thing about that is that if you ask her about her past, she will tell you that it was the best thing that ever happened to her. And if you ask her about her disease, she will tell you the disease lives in the old personality. I'm literally somebody else. And just like a person with a multiple personality disorder that has an allergy to nylon stockings in one personality and type 2 diabetes in another personality, she literally became someone else. And the disease exists in the old person. Now, the beauty behind her is that she understood that the emotion, if she could truly be present and hold an image and rehearse a future and begin to create the emotion, her brain and body would change from living in the past to living in the future. So then if she's feeling fear every single day, then she's in the past. Because the moment she wakes up and searches for that feeling and she gets in touch with that feeling, the feeling is a record of the past and starts influencing her thoughts, then her entire state of being is in the past. Every day as she starts overcoming those emotions and those doubts and those thoughts and attitudes and hardwired behaviors, she's changing her neurocircuitry, she's changing her chemistry, she's changing her hormones, she's even changing her genes. And because she studied it and she understood what she was doing and why, and how it got easier. And she said, which I thought was so beautiful, I'm not getting up from this meditation until I'm in love with life. Now, to the materialist who's looking for evidence, she has no reason to be in love with life. She lost her husband, she was in financial crisis, she lost her job, she had no friends, she couldn't take care of her kids, she was paralyzed, she had cancer, she had depression, she had ulcerations. But she said, I'm going to teach my body emotionally what my future is going to feel like before it's made manifest. And over time, overcoming, she became someone else.